All right, ready to dive into some seriously powerful strategic thinking. We're talking Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Oh, this is a good one.
Now, before you think this is all about, ancient battles and dusty scrolls, it is anything but.
Right.
We're going deep on how this stuff is relevant to you, like today.
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating about The Art of War. It's a military treatise for sure, but it's really like a blueprint for understanding strategy, planning, even human psychology in any situation.
It's true. It's true. So Sun Tzu, he doesn't mess around, right? He lays out these five constant factors right at the start: moral law, heaven, earth, the commander, and method and discipline.
hmm
Sounds intense, right?
Yeah, it might sound a bit, archaic, but when you break it down, it's really about having like a really solid foundation for how we make decisions.
Yeah, it's about a framework, right?
Yeah.
So, like the moral law thing,
Yeah.
what is that in plain English?
Okay, so imagine you're, trying to lead a company where everyone's suspicious of each other, backstabbing, working against each other, chaos, right?
Hmm.
Sun Tzu is saying that internal unity, having everyone on the same page, is absolutely crucial for success.
So it's like that saying, a house divided against itself cannot stand.
Right.
It makes sense whether you're talking about an army or a startup company.
Exactly. And it's not just about everyone getting along, it's deeper. It's about having a shared purpose, a clear understanding of the goal, and trust in the leadership.
Which leads us to another one of Sun Tzu's big ideas: deception. He actually says, quote, all warfare is based on deception.
hmm
Wait, so are we supposed to be sneaky? I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
Hold on, hold on. It's not about being like a shady character. It's about understanding how perception works. Think of it like this. If you reveal your entire hand in a negotiation, you've lost your leverage, haven't you?
Ooh, that's good.
Right.
So you're saying it's more about being strategic, not like misleading.
Right. It's about knowing, when to hold back a little, when to reveal your strengths, understanding how your opponent perceives you. Powerful stuff.
It reminds me of that quote, appear weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak. I always thought it sounded a bit manipulative, but I'm starting to see it in a new light.
And that leads us to, well, another one of Sun Tzu's key principles, winning without fighting.
Okay, buckle up, because this next bit from Sun Tzu is mind-blowing. He says the best victory, the best, is the one where you don't even have to fight. What does that even mean?
Basically, he's saying the ultimate goal is to achieve your objectives with minimal effort, minimal loss. It's about outsmarting your opponent, not, outgunning them.
Outsmarting, yeah.
Yeah, Sun Tzu actually wrote, quote, thus the highest form of generalship is to balk the enemy's plans.
So, like in a business deal, it'd be better to find a win-win where everyone benefits rather than trying to crush your competition.
Precisely. Or say you're like a small business owner and a huge corporation moves into your market. Instead of getting into a price war, which you'd probably lose, you could identify a niche market they've overlooked, maybe develop a really innovative product or service.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about being strategic, finding those unexpected paths to victory.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of strategy, Sun Tzu was a huge advocate for meticulous planning, preparation. Like he even went into detail about the cost of chariots, weapons, supplies, down to the glue and paint.
Wait, really? He was factoring in the cost of glue.
It sounds funny, right? But he understood that even the smallest details could impact the outcome of a campaign.
So he's saying don't even think about going into battle until you've got a solid plan. You know how much it's going to cost.
Exactly. And that's something we can all relate to, right? Whether you're launching a business, planning a trip, or even just like tackling a big project, preparation is key.
So true. And on that note of planning for the unexpected, Sun Tzu was also a big believer in adaptability. He has this brilliant line: military tactics are like unto water. He's saying you need to be able to adjust to the ever-changing circumstances.
And that's never been more relevant than it is today, right? The world is changing so rapidly. The ability to be flexible and adapt is crucial. Think about the rise of new technologies, the global market shifts, just the unexpected challenges life throws our way.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, the only constant IS change, you got to be ready to roll with the punches.
Exactly. And speaking of rolling with the punches, Sun Tzu, well, he had some pretty fascinating things to say about espionage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like he identifies five different types of spies. He
Oh.
calls it, get this, divine manipulation of the threads.
Divine manipulation. Okay, that sounds like something out of like a spy movie.
Right.
So what's the like divine manipulation all about?
Well, you see, for Sun Tzu, espionage wasn't about playing dirty, it was about gathering information. And not just about, like, troop movements or battle plans,
Right.
but about the psychology of your opponent, like their motivations, their fears, their strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, so it's about gaining that that strategic advantage, but through knowledge, knowing
Yes.
yourself and knowing your opponent.
Exactly. Sun Tzu understood that knowledge. It really IS power.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so than brute force.
Yeah. It's fascinating to me how much emphasis Sun Tzu puts on just the human element in all of this. He's not just talking about tactics and logistics. He's talking about leadership, motivation, understanding people.
Oh, absolutely. He famously said, quote, "Regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Look upon them as your own beloved sons, and they will stand by you even unto death."
Wow, that's powerful.
It is. It is.
And it speaks to that importance of like connecting with people on a human level, building trust, inspiring loyalty.
It really does.
It's about understanding what motivates people, what makes them tick. And that's relevant. I mean, whether you're leading an army or a team at work or just, sister
Absolutely.
family, right?
Exactly. Sun Tzu was like centuries ahead of his time in recognizing the importance of emotional intelligence in leadership.
That's true.
Yeah.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into the art of war, I think it's safe to say this ancient text, it's about so much more than just winning battles, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. It's a timeless guide to strategy, leadership, even self awareness. It's about understanding human nature, making calculated decisions, adapting to this ever changing world.
Yeah, it's about being strategic in every aspect of your life, whether you're facing like a difficult negotiation or pursuing a personal goal or even just trying to navigate the craziness of daily life.
Well said. Sun Tzu's wisdom is as relevant today as it was, centuries ago.
It really is.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this question to ponder. How can understanding your own strengths and weaknesses, as well as those of the people around you, how can that help you navigate the battlefield of your own life?